Did you know that as a traveler you have powerful rights that most airlines and transport companies hope you don't know about? In fact, these rights are often underused, and knowing them could save your trip, your money, and even your time. Let's dive into some of the most vital travel rights you need to be aware of. When it comes to flights, did you know that in the European Union, you're protected by a regulation known as EU 261/2004? This law guarantees compensation for delays, cancellations, and even overbooked flights. If you're flying from an EU country or flying on an EU-based airline to any destination, and your flight is delayed for over 3 hours or cancelled with less than 14 days' notice, you're entitled to compensation. That compensation could be up to €600 depending on the distance of your flight. This law doesn't just cover money for your troubles. It also guarantees that if your flight is delayed, the airline must provide food, drinks, and even hotel accommodation, if necessary. This applies whether you're flying economy or first class. But that's not all. Did you know that the United States also has protections that can work in your favor? While the US doesn't have the same strict compensation rules as the EU, US Department of Transportation regulations require that if your flight is cancelled for any reason, even weather-related ones, you are entitled to a full refund. This applies even if you booked a non-refundable ticket. Most people don't know this, and airlines may try to push you to accept a voucher or rebook, but you can demand your money back. For those worried about being bumped off a flight, did you know that if you are involuntarily bumped from an overbooked flight in the US, you are entitled to compensation that could be up to 4 times the value of your one-way ticket, up to a maximum of $1,550? The EU has similar protections under EU 261/2004. In these cases, airlines often downplay how much you're entitled to, so knowing your rights can make a huge financial difference. Now let's talk about luggage. Did you know that if an airline loses your checked luggage, you could be entitled to reimbursement for the cost of essential items while you wait for your bag to be returned? Under the Montreal Convention, if you're traveling internationally and your luggage is delayed, damaged or lost, airlines must compensate you for damages up to approximately $1,600 per person. But here's a tip. Many airlines won't tell you this up front, and you'll need to keep receipts for the items you buy while waiting for your bag. Make sure to always file a claim before leaving the airport if your bag doesn't arrive with you. Did you know that train passengers in Europe also have rights similar to air passengers? Under the EU's passenger rights regulation, if your international train service is delayed by more than an hour, you are entitled to a partial refund of your ticket. If the delay exceeds 60 minutes, you're eligible for compensation of 25% of your ticket price, and if the delay exceeds 120 minutes, the compensation jumps to 50%. This can apply to high-speed trains like the Eurostar or Thalys, which often transport travelers across countries. On the road, your rights extend beyond airlines and trains. Did you know that long-distance bus passengers in the EU have rights too? If your bus journey is delayed by over 90 minutes, and it's a journey of over 250 kilometers, the bus operator must offer you assistance, such as meals, refreshments, or even accommodation if necessary. If your bus is cancelled, you are entitled to a refund or rerouting, similar to the protections offered to air passengers. But what about when you arrive at your destination and rent a car? Did you know that in the EU, rental car companies are part of the European Car Rental Conciliation Service, or ECRCS for short? This service exists to help resolve disputes between consumers and car rental companies. If you believe you were unfairly charged for damage, cleaning fees, or hidden extras, you can escalate your complaint to this body, which aims to provide quick and fair resolutions. Even outside the EU, many credit card companies offer similar protections, allowing you to dispute charges with the rental company if they seem unjustified. Did you know that, as a passenger, you're also protected when traveling by boat or ferry? In the EU, ferry passengers have rights similar to those of air passengers. If a ferry journey is delayed by more than 90 minutes, you're entitled to assistance, including meals and, if necessary, accommodation. If the ferry is cancelled, you're entitled to rerouting or a refund, and if the delay causes a significant inconvenience, you may also be eligible for compensation. Finally, here's a little-known fact. Did you know that if you're traveling in a country where your credit card was stolen, you have certain protections against fraudulent charges? Major credit card companies like Visa, MasterCard, and American Express have zero liability policies for fraudulent charges made on lost or stolen cards. You should always report your card as lost or stolen immediately, but even if unauthorized charges are made before you can do so, you will not be held responsible for them. So next time you travel, whether by air, train, bus, or boat, Remember that knowing your rights can save you time, money, and a lot of frustration. Stay informed and protect yourself. Your journey will be smoother, and your wallet will thank you. Want more travel tips that will help you save money, time, and stress? Be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our next travel hack.